Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Moyna Bass Fishes. I am Jim Moyna, Chief Engineer of Harmony on this channel. In this video, we are going to do a tournament recap on the tournament I had on Lake Minnetonka. It was a team tournament. I was paired with Gunner Miesen, longtime buddy of mine. We paired up a few times in tournaments over the years. And the tournament was the Thorne Brothers Classic of 2025, held, what was it, July 28th or 29th of 2025. I just got home, really, from being down in the Twin Cities, home being north central Minnesota, and it is such a stark contrast to what I've just been dealing with. Let me pick up the camera here. This is just freaking awesome. Look at the beautiful sunset here. I mean, glass, calm lake. Not one wakeboarder, not one jet skier, not even a fisherman out on this 1,700 acre lake. It's such a stark contrast to what you see on Lake Minnetonka and what I've dealt with for the last couple weeks out there, doing a lot of fishing out there. So anyways, let's get on with the tournament here. By the way, while I'm doing this video, I'm going to be throwing this bait. I tied this bait on my dad's rod about 4 years ago. Haven't taken off since, and at this time of day, sometimes if my boat's not in the water, I'll come down to the dock here and make a couple chunks with this, catching dogfish, catching largemouth bass, catching northern pike, or sunfish sometimes. But anyhow, I haven't got to the point of the video, sorry. So the point of the video is to talk about this Lake Minnetonka tournament. So I had, multiple days to practice, and like 5 days to practice, and I'd fished a tournament 2 weeks before that where I practiced for a few days. So I had a lot of fishing out there at Minnetonka, seeing the whole lake up and down. Had a lot of places to checked a lot of them. The tournament from 2 weeks ago I did not do very good in. It was a Pro-Am tournament, finished in the bottom half of it, not good. So anyhow, with this tournament, took a little bit different strategy. I purposely avoided a lot of history, because history has not been good to me, because the lake's changed quite a bit in 25-30 years from when I had a great run of success for multiple years. Oh geez, that was an instant hit. Instant hit. As soon as the bait landed, man, something just erupted on it. Probably, I don't know, I'm guessing a bass. Anyhow, that was pretty, but he didn't get hooked, obviously. Otherwise, I'd be reeling them in and unhooking them in front of you. Anyhow, so I wanted to avoid a lot of, we did in practice, we did check some traditional spots. And I primarily spent about 95% of my time fishing deep, because this time of year and in the past, deep was my go-to. That's where I banked a lot of wins, and that's what I did. I did spend a little bit of time looking shallow, just because I had to clear that out of my system. And the shallow bite for me, it means dock fishing, and I don't know, in probably about 6 hours of dock fishing, one 3.5 pounder was the only quality fish that I ended up with. So that was not happening. So we fish deep. So on Lake Minnetonka right now, deep means we got coontail, we got mainly coontail, I guess, or rock. So look at this. This is probably the same one. Oh geez, even took a little drag. Don't break my line there, buddy. I'd hate to lose this lure. All right, I gotta lift this one. Stand by. Look at that. That might have made the bag yesterday in the tournament, maybe. It's close. So, anyways, in the tournament, so rocks and deep coontail is what it means to fish deep. Release that one. Shoot, I usually like to see if they go under the dock or if they swim out away. That's pretty cool. It's like a 3-pounder. So we checked a bunch of, obviously I checked a lot of familiar stuff out deep, but I really wanted to stay away from it because in the Champions Tour Pro-Am 2 weeks prior, it was just a constant rotation on that stuff. Places where, pre-mapping, pre-GPS, pre-mapping, I spent so much time finding these places. Because without mapping, when you walk to the lake the edge of a shore or the edge of a lake on the shoreline and you look out, you don't know where the humps are, you don't know where the long extended points are, you don't know where the inside turns are. So back in the day, you had to zigzag the lake to find all that stuff. So, but with all the mapping and that available now, all that stuff is, exposed. And guys, stuff that I had to myself many years ago, or just a select few people knew about these places. Everybody knows them. Guides, high school tournament anglers, just rec anglers, league anglers. The elite bass fishers from Minnesota, of course, they got them all. And I just relied on that too much 2 weeks ago. So, but still, the idea was, if we could find one of these places that had the fish, we could maybe start there if we got a decent boat number, and then hit some of the more obscure stuff, because I fished a lot of obscure stuff in practice, just stuff off the wall that I've never even would have fished 25 years ago. Spent a lot of hours catching nothing, that's for sure, but did find a few places to hit. And so that was our plan. And in the tournament, so by the way, did I even mention what place we got? Sorry, should have mentioned that right away. We did end up 16th place out of 80, I don't know, it was 80 some, we'll just say 85 anglers, boat teams, which was one place out of the money. 15th place got paid, 16th place we didn't. And our weight was it was a 5 fish limit per boat. We had 17.60 pounds. 15th place had 17.62, so 2 100ths, which is basically water variance, essentially. Sometimes that can play for you, sometimes against you. Who knows how it played in this case? I don't know. But that's so we had a 17.5 pound bag, 3.5 pound average. Going into the tournament, that morning of the tournament, yesterday morning, if you told me that's what we would have weighed in, I would have took it right then. I would say, yep, give me that. It's probably not going to win, but it is doing much better than what we had done. So in many hours of practice, but I also felt at the same time I'd uncovered enough in practice that a lot of fish, some of the fish that I found were probably going to move, but I think I had enough confidence that we could find the right combo, the right location where we could maybe catch some of our 5 fish and maybe pick 1 or 2 off in other places. And as the day started, it was kind of a tough bite. It was a slow bite. First place we pulled up to, we caught 2 tiny ones, and I was really counting on it for, or I was really had high hopes on it for, maybe at least putting 1 fish in our bag. That was quality fish. And interesting, it was on a spot where, in practice for the tournament 2 weeks prior, I found them there. In that tournament, they were gone. And then yesterday in the Thorne Brothers Classic, same thing. Practice, I relocated them. It's not exactly on the same spot as I found them in the practice 2 weeks prior, but not too far away. And sure enough, those fish were not there again. Although I had also relocated another school, like really close to there, so it would have been easy to just bounce over there, but there was already a boat sitting there, and that team, I think, I don't know, got 8th, 9th, or 10th place, something like that, and I know they caught some of their fish there. So that was kind of a bummer, because I thought we could hit 2 places. Actually, I probably would have just fished, right, you know, fished everything in between the 2 waypoints, because these bass seem like they're not completely, oh shoot, these bass seem like they're not completely committed to sticking in one place, a lot of these fish. So it was a slow morning. So we started there, and probably our next 3 or 4 spots, we were catching some fish. It was a 12-inch limit. We weren't even keeping a lot of them. Something's messing with this. It actually rolled on it last cast. It seemed pikey. Ooh, there's a boy. Oh, this seems dogfishy. That is dogfish. Oh God, oh gosh, that's a dogfish. He's back on it, because I can see his like tail comes out of the water, like he's finning, his back fin, that long like eel like fin comes out of the water, and like you can see it like curl, and then that one blow up was just a nice chomp to it. I wonder if that's the same one I caught a couple weeks ago out here. I don't know. Oh, oh, oh. No, that was a bluegill. I think the dogfish got, when I say dogfish, that's like Grinnell, mudfish. Gosh, there's other names don't come to mind right now. Oh, this would really make a problem for the video if I hook this thing. Anyhow, so it wasn't until halfway through the day, and we probably had our limit by now. I mean, we were throwing back 12 inches, 13 inches, 14 inches, and then, you know, then we'd keep one that would be kind of close to that size, just to keep one. And eventually we finally made the right call, or pulled up in the right spot, and started catching quality fish. And it was interesting because I pulled up under this, oh, there he is out there. He just rolled. He moved a little farther, about another 8 yards out. I don't know if I can cast that far, but we are going to try. Oh, and we are right there. Whew. So, anyhow, and this happened to be a community hole area. Dang, he's there. He's probably give up on this. Kind of went for it twice. He's wised up. Even dogfish can wise up. So it was kind of one of the community areas, and we picked off. It was an area where I'm moving the boat around on, and oh no, he's back on it. There, he just rolled his tail again. But now he's off of it. So I'm really interested in catching this thing. I know it would really mess up the video though, because it's so dang hard. I'd have to drag him up on shore and finish the video probably. Anyhow, so we catch some little ones, and then I got to this opening in the coontail, and I can see on my Lowrance active target. I'm like, oh gosh, I'm like, hey Gunner, there's some fish over there, and I throw over there, and first one to catch is like a 3.5 pounder, so it's by far our best fish. And then we proceed to fish there for like 2 hours, calling everything we had in the live well got called out, so that was good. And Gunner really got hot, man. I mean, I caught the first one, but it seemed like when I'd hook up, it would be a small one. When Gunner would hook up, it would be time to call. So we ended up, out of that hole, we ended up with like 3 of them in the 3.5 pound range, plus a couple others over 3. So that wasn't bad, not bad. And we spent a couple hours there. It didn't give us a lot of time to hit other things though, because we still had more stuff to hit. And one particular place where we wanted to hit for sure. So we ended up running that spot seemed to dry up, ran out of there. And we were catching them on drop shot, basically. Drop shot with plastics, dropping it down in the weeds. Caught a few on a jig throughout the day as well. But anyways, we ran to another spot, caught some fish, including one upgrade with another 3.5 pounder. And one more spot, we got the fish after that with, and that was crazy because I pull up on the spot and I didn't even pull up on the waypoint. Pulled up shy of the waypoint, put the trolling motor down. Instantly, I was seeing fish on the Lowrance active target. I'm like, wow, there's fish here, right now. Not even, I mean, I was still like, probably 20 yards from the original waypoint. But that just shows you how these fish will slide up and down these coontail edges, which is something that I've kind of learned this month, is that they really like to, they do that. They're not gonna, the coontail doesn't hold them in one spot like a if they're attracted to a rock spot, it's the reliability seems to be a lot more higher of going back the next day and finding those fish still on that rock spot. But anyhow, that's an aside. Anyhow, but so yeah, pull up right up on these fish, and instantly we were both hooking up, and we made one more upgrade. So we ended up with like 4 fish in the 3.5, slightly over that range, and one that was probably like a 3.3 or 3.4, something like that, 3.5 maybe, for the 17.5 pounds, which I was really happy about. I thought we checked. I had predicted the tournament was gonna be one with like 19 and low change. Turned out it was one with 21 and change, and there was like 3 bags over 20 and a few over 19, so I was way off on my prediction. But that's because it was so bad. I mean, that's because my practice was just not showing me those types of fish at all. So it was really exciting. When pulling into the dock, I was confident we at least moneyed. I knew we didn't probably win, but I was thinking, I kind of was thinking like a 5th or a 10th kind of a position, and it turns out we didn't even make the money. so oh boy, we're hooked up, gang. So that's kind of how she went. How would I do it again? How would I redo this tournament? I don't think I'd do it much different. I just feel like I'm kind of relearning the tendencies a little bit, and I only think I'm gonna get better and better out there if I keep fishing it. I don't know if I'll ever dominate it or have the run of success I had years ago, but certainly I mean, the little subtle nuances of it are a lot different than what they used to be. I mean, all the structure's the same, but there's a lot of differences. Mainly the water clarity and the weed growth is the big difference. But anyhow, what else do I got to say about this? Thanks for the people that ran the tournament. It was a decent payout for the people in the money, so that was nice to see. Although I never did the math on it, so I guess I should withhold saying that unless if I actually put the math to it. But it was a $700 or $750 entry fee, and the first place team had $15,000. So that's kind of, I mean, if you got a chance to win 15 grand, that's pretty nice. And I mean, you just never know. With just 5 fish, you never know what can happen. Pull up on one of the right spots out there, and you could get 3 big ones quick, and be ready to contention. Big bass, by the way. Somebody had a 6.05, which is really big. I have never weighed a fish 6 pounds or bigger out of Minnetonka ever. I've come close. 5.97 is my closest. So somebody did get 6. I did, I might have had one in practice, 1 or 2 in practice like that I never weighed, but Second biggest bass was 5.4. So, but I never, I never saw one over 5 pounds in practice. In fact, we only had two that were in the 4 pound range in practice in like 5 days. So, it certainly wasn't on the big ones, it seems like. But anyhow, what it's just a start. What is the contrast of this setting right here is amazing compared to Lake Minnetonka. Lake Power is just a totally different experience altogether. And the sun's down now because I've been gabbing so long. But anyways, well, I hope you found this video interesting. I am going to have some more videos on Minnetonka just because I've done so much fishing there the last couple weeks. I just want to kind of contrast it now to then being 25-30 years ago, and just other thoughts on the lake. But that's a whole nother video topic. Thanks for watching. Over and out.